I wanna be rich.
Karibuni to the Tume ota podcast. This is episode 14, and in today's episode, we're going to be talking about a topic that we actually wanted to address in May during Mental Health Awareness Month. But if you listen to episode 12, you'll know why that didn't take place. So a few curveballs, but we're back now, and we just want to address that episode because better late than never. So we're going to be talking about mental health and money. Stay tuned because it promises to be a very interesting, deep one. Maybe you might need some tissues, who knows. But for now, you're with me, Amira, your favorite impulsive spender,
Abigail, the Disobedient budgeter, and Pauline, your indecisive saver. And this is the Tume ota podcast because indeed Tume ota lakini
Tume ota. Ding 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 ding.
Amira, you never say strong. You see how we just started that as a joke and it stuck.
Imagine it stuck. Even when you are not here and Grace was here, she was like,
oh yeah, she was like, that's what I'm saying. Like it amazes me like how it just got stuck and it was a joke.
Like a joke.
So if you watched last episode, we talked about taxes that we all roll our eyes about. But I hope
watched or listened.
Gosh, I always do that. If you watched or listened, I hope you got a few things here and there. I hope that you also filed your taxes. And I hope that it also became not so scary. Yeah, because that's the entire. If you remember, like when we're talking about the first episode, we're talking about financial things being a bit scary to talk about. So I hope that it's not so scary as that now after listening and or watching to the podcast on taxes. Yeah. So
and shout out to Evans for being an amazing guest. It was nice to have you.
Yeah.
So Tumejam. As you can see, people, I have just been doing scarves this past few episodes because my hair has decided, or rather the finances have decided. So yeah, Pauline has been doing my scarves clearly. I know, I look pretty. I am not a scarf person, but now I have been forced to invest in scarves for this purpose because I do not have the money and the time or even the effort to go to the salon. But yes, here I am.
That's really
The biggest issue is actually that you're on crutches.
And that's what I was actually thinking, but either way, yeah.
That's real. For me, I'm jamming about something that I've seen when I hang out with people, when I go outside. I feel like, we're still in a pandemic and people wear masks, some choose not to. But I don't know if you've ever been in a scenario, because I've been in this scenario many times, where you choose to wear a mask and they're like, why are you wearing a mask? Just take it off. And I'm jamming because I just feel like we need to allow people to do them. Like if someone wants to wear a mask, that's what we feel comfortable with, be okay with it. If someone wants to not wear a mask, fine, but respect someone's personal decision. Don't make them feel bad because everyone in the room is not wearing a mask and they're wearing a mask, so they're maybe being a snob or they're being antisocial, because you don't know what someone's COVID experience is. So please just respect people's space, because I've seen it happening a lot where somebody wearing a mask and they're being pressured to take it off, or they don't want to give you a hug and they're saying, just give me a hug, COVID won't catch us. But you don't know where people go back to their families. You just don't know what they're going through. So just respect someone's space. If someone doesn't want to hug, it's not because they're being rude. People are protecting their health. So that's what I'm jamming about.
I'm jamming about. Should I mention the company? Okay, I'm jamming about electricity. If you know, you know. If you don't, it's your problem. But like 2 weeks ago, I bought tokens, which is electricity, for the Airbnb, and I put the wrong meter number. And I realized maybe 30 minutes later. No, I actually realized the next day. Because I was wondering why it's not. Every time I send it to them, they're saying it's ejecting. So I didn't understand what was happening. Then it dawned on me that I used the wrong meter number. So I called Safaricom guys to ask if they could reverse. They said no, because I used M-Pesa. M-Pesa is a form of transaction.
Mobile money.
Yeah, mobile money. So I used M-Pesa and I called Safaricom to ask them whether they could reverse the money so that I could buy another token, and they said no, it's not in that docket.
That's not our bank.
Yeah. So they told me to call KPLC, and I called them, and they said I have to go to the office. Then I went for that job that took forever, and then now I came back and I went to the office, and then they tell me, it's good you've come. I thought it was going to be like, get into the system. Oh, okay, this is your ID. It's correct that you actually bought this amount of money in this amount of tokens. They tell me that it's okay that I've brought it there in town, the headquarters, but it has to be transferred to the Kiambu office because the token number, the meter number that I used is in Kiambu. The wrong one is in Kiambu, so they have to transfer it to Kiambu, and apparently Kiambu is very notorious for not reversing tokens. So it might take, so I asked how long will it take? They said we don't know. I was like, okay, so tentatively, do you know how long might it take? He said we don't know. So I asked, could it take more than a month? Said, they were like, I was like, okay. So I was in my mind, because I don't have money, I'm thinking, gosh, I bought tokens for 2,000, and here they are telling me that they're not sure how long it will take for them to reverse, because you see what they're doing is actually just transferring that token from that meter number to the correct. I don't think it's supposed to take that long. So why is it taking forever? That means I have to get into my pocket and buy again, and these are tokens that are not being used by anyone, because unless this person has my number, then that person the person who owns that meter number doesn't have that token. So it should be, I in my mind, I think it should be easy. I don't know why they're making it so complicated. And the fact that what I said a month, and they made it look like a month is even kidogo, like it's very little time. It could even take longer. And we just need to improve our systems. I think sometimes even we have proper systems, it's just that the people handling the system are, I don't want to say incapable, but there's something they're doing behind that is just not, like there's someone.
Have you followed up?
There's someone sleeping on their job, definitely.
Have you been following up?
Yeah, and it's still not there, but I just went recently. I was even given a number because I was like, so if you guys are not the ones who are handling it, so who can I call? Because if it's the Kiambu office that's supposed to be handling, so who am I supposed to call? Am I supposed to take a matatu to go to the Kiambu office to see where it's meaning? And they showed me a whole, like, 3 huge files of tokens that are supposed to be reversed from Kiambu.
Are you serious? Oh.
Yeah.
I think we need another system for electricity other than KPLC, clearly.
You should be able to get your money back if it's literally not doing it. It's not like you're there losing money. It's just about putting it in the right place.
Yeah, they're not losing any money. They just need to transfer that token to the meter number that I'm supposed to use. Anyhow.
Anyways, basically, we are wearing green if you're watching and if you're listening, because May was Mental Health Awareness Month, and we didn't get the opportunity to address this topic. And it's something that I feel it's near and dear to my heart. If you know me, you know that. And we wanted to address it, but we didn't get to shoot in May the way we had planned. And so better late than never. But yeah, this is just an important topic. I mean, like, even in the pandemic, I'm sure you've seen so many conversations are coming up about mental health, and especially in our culture as Africans, it's not something we're used to talking about, but I've been seeing the conversation happening more, which is a good thing. And I think we need to be in the habit of talking about this topic because it affects us all. I mean, we can be strong and, toughen up and, beat up, but it only hurts you on the inside. So today we're going to tackle the topic of mental health, but from a financial aspect. Just because also money is something that can affect your mental health and your financial state. And so it's something that we wanted to shed light on and also to share from our experiences, not as experts like we are therapists or doctors, but just from what we've experienced, in hopes that you can gain something and you can learn something. So yeah. So I have some notes here, but I wanted to have some facts because this is a serious topic. But yeah, so basically, WHO, which is the World Health Organization, does a mental health survey every year. And they said that in this pandemic, it has brought out more than ever how mental health is integral to our overall well-being. And so you obviously know we're not in normal times. We've been restricted on movement and gathering. There's been a lot of job loss, death of loved ones, and widespread COVID-19 infections have led to fear, anxiety, and depression. There are reports of upsurges in intimate partner violence and suicides. And mental health needs, they said, in Africa, in the African region, are significant. 15 African countries are among the top 30 globally for suicide per 100 people. Actually, I thought it was interesting because we often assume, like we were saying earlier, Abigail was saying how people say it's like a Western thing. You hear people think it's just a Western issue. But 15 African countries, that's half, are in the top 30 for suicide per 100,000 people. Although many countries have developed national mental health policies, the availability of services is often limited to specialized institutions in capital cities, and it tends to be very expensive. And most of the time, even if you're on insurance, I don't know if like insurance covers for that stuff. I'm not sure. It would depend. But
I don't think so.
Yeah, it can be. It can be complicated. So in Africa, it said there are 9 mental health workers per 100,000 people. Okay, that's so bad. This falls to 0.9, and among this workforce, 1/3 are non-professional workers, meaning there is a severe shortage of psychiatrists and psychologists in African countries. And according to the Ministry of Health in Kenya, it is estimated that 1 in every 10 people suffers from a common mental disorder. So we're about 50 million. So do the math. I don't know if that's 5 million people, but I'm not sure. My math is not good. And the number increases to 1 in every 4 people among patients attending routine outpatient services. So it goes without saying this is a serious topic.
Yeah.
Basically,
we can read and read.
Yeah,
and
we can keep reading, but basically,
It's a serious topic.
and the need is more than you know how it says in the Bible. The harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. There's so much need, but there's not enough resources, and it's high time we start speaking up about it and playing our part. So, before we go any further, this is a safe space. I just want to say that. I know that's very important in the subject of mental health. There is no judgment here. Whatever you say won't be used against you. It's your truth and it's valid to you. And I just want to also say that for those who are watching and listening, is that whatever you're going through, it's valid to you, regardless of what someone thinks. And so please be in places that people respect that and make you feel safe. Yeah, and you can share as little as you like, but because we know there's a lot of stigma around this topic, but this is a no shame zone. So anyway, question 1, we're talking about it from a financial aspect. Losing money. Obviously, you know the pandemic has hit, people have been losing money, losing jobs, and it sucks. Being broke sucks, not having enough money sucks, and it can really affect your mental health. So any personal experiences you want to share about something along those lines?
I think first of all, without being said, like not having money gives people anxiety even if they don't say it. Like if you've lost a job, you're constantly wondering, okay, how will I make it to the next day? How if you have kids, it's even a different thing. You know, like if you're taking care of a lot of people, it becomes even more hard. But anyway, I'm just going to talk about like when I was robbed.
Well, that's not a funny thing. We're not laughing at
I'm just laughing because I'm just laughing because on that day I think I was doing a lot of things in a very not normal, because like when now the border guys came to rescue me, the first thing I was like, oh my god, I don't have a phone.
Everything had gone.
Like, you know, at this point, okay, fine, I've realized I've broken a leg. But at that point, I was like,
where's my phone?
where's my phone? And I was like, the things I think about. And that day, it was just so funny because it went on and on. I don't think I've ever talked about it like properly. So that day, I had a new jeans I had just been given. I was just going to keep on laughing. Anyway, I had a new jeans that had been given by my friend. So I was feeling the pinch of them tearing it, because they had to tear it for them to like access my leg without hurting me and stuff. And I'm like, rareni your jeans na double because I will just have to make it be
Presentable.
no, like I'll have to like redo the thingy.
stitches.
Yeah, the stitches again, so for it to become like back to how it was. But anyway, that's not the point. I was like it's just anyway. But like the first thing for me was like, where's my phone? The reason why I was like, where's my phone is because if I remember how much I spent on it, I was like, oh my god, now I don't even have a phone and I don't have money to buy a new phone. So, okay. That's why I was not even worried about my leg. Then getting to the hospital, I left my bike at the school gate. Now, this person who had helped me, I don't like the agreement was supposed to be like he leaves my bike at the gate so that I can pick it like way after like when I'm back. So he stole even my bike. So all these things I'm losing are things I've bought out of my savings, and being a student, you know, getting savings is not that easy. So like I've lost a lot of money plus my leg. And now I don't. I okay.
That's just went through my head in the moment.
At the moment, I'm just like, I've lost my money. I've lost my leg. I'm like, kwani today. But like that was like, I think about it after today. I'm like, wow.
Like all your hard work down the drain.
Like all my hard work. And if you know, I don't even think I should be saying this, but like the money that I used to save up, like I had to like like I had to like nima myself a lot for me to be able to get to even to that amount of savings. So
Nima means
Be selfish.
I had to be selfish. Yeah, with a lot of things for me to be able to
like
get
sacrifice.
to even get to that amount of savings. So I was like deeply hurt,
man.
And that's
like
where
from square one.
Yeah, that's where my avoiding skills come in, because I've not given myself time to like deeply think about it, because if I start thinking about it like the way I want to critically think about it, I don't think I'll even survive another day. But
that's real.
Yeah.
That's real. The shock, the just feeling like, wow, everything I've worked for, you know, and when you put savings, you trust that it's in a secure place.
Yeah.
It's like everything I've worked for, gone.
And it's like the way you normally say, when you buy a good thing, just buy it so that you don't like have to buy it over and over again. So like
so
for me,
quality.
So me I bought quality things thinking that, okay, I know these are material things, they go all the time, but it always hurts when they go, because that is money you used.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, that was painful.
And how did you feel like mentally, like after now when it was like slowly, like after you got out of hospital, like, because you said you're still thinking about it, like did you feel like some depression? Did you feel like defeated, hopeless? Because now you're not working.
Right now I think I'm just in a state of hopelessness, because I don't think I will recover from that anytime soon. Like it's not like I will just be able to like wake up and have a new phone again all of a sudden, or have a new bike, or it's not.
And even the way it was taken was very mentally triggering.
Because I think the first 3 days, because you know I was just in hospital, you're just laying there in bed, you don't even have a phone, so you can't say you're not thinking about it. That's the only thing you think about day and night. So I used to not even sleep for those first few days, and even like when you guys came, I used to cry a lot. Like I think every step of this whole journey has just been, I think I cry at every I cry at every, like okay fine, I'm able to step down, I cry. I'm not supposed to be crying, but
that's a milestone.
That like I feel like I cry a lot ever since that incident.
And I also feel like that's okay. I think sometimes we are made to feel like that's even almost a bad thing. Like we'll get over it. It's been a month. But you literally couldn't walk. Now you can. That's a big deal. and that's it's okay to cry. I think we're taught so much in our culture to suppress. That makes you strong, but then the people who suppress project, it comes out in how they treat other people, or maybe one day they just blow up because they've held it stuff in for so long. And I think that even just you talking about it and being able to share is already like a step towards healing. And the money will be made, don't worry. That initial feeling, like, people even say when you're robbed, it's not even like what's been taken from you, it's the violation, like the shock of like how it happened. That is even like what messes you up like mentally more, because you're just like, how did that occur?
Yeah, and
So,
it's all in a split second. So yeah,
Everything happens so fast.
yeah.
So I'll talk about having money but feeling like it's not enough to cover everything that I need to do with the amount of money that I'm getting. I'm out of school, meaning I'm hustling. I'm hustling. So
Nairobi ni yako hasa.
I'm trying to think about how to make it, how to phrase it. So I get, because of the hustles that I'm doing here and there, of course I get some money from them. But when I do my budget, of course there are things like one that I'll put for savings, then for normal expenditure because I have to move from one place to another, then for enjoying myself so that I don't live a dull life. What else? Or everything that you think about that you need money for. So when I do all that, and now I start thinking about the age that I'm in at the moment, it gets, I don't want to say depressing because it's very, I feel like it's a strong word, but it can almost get to that point where I'm making this money. I wish I was making this amount of money so that I can be where I thought I should have been by this point. And I remember when I was celebrating my last birthday, I was feeling so, damn, I'm 24 years old, I'm still living at my parents' house, I'm not as financially stable as I thought I would have been. Thank God I'm getting money. Oh, thank you so much. But Monday, it's not enough. I want to move out, but when I move out, what will I eat? I always make that story. Like you make a joke, I'm like, tutakula story, ama tutakula vabo.
You eat oxygen.
or air burgers. Yeah, so where will the money for like paying rent? I can manage to pay rent, yes, with the money
But
that
you'll
I'm
just
getting.
be knocking on your mom's house the next week.
But I'll be coming back to my parents' house to ask for food. Am I able to sustain myself for a whole month if I move out? Because they say 25 is the age to have. You see, they say there is the word, but it's there.
It's actually a real pressure.
You're supposed to be married. It's so real. You're supposed to be married, and now you're thinking about getting children at 25. And here I am in my parents' house.
Couldn't be me.
Nothing close to getting, nowhere close to getting children. But of course, there's that. And then also the other thing is seeing your peers. Like, for example, people I cleared high school with, and seeing where they are at in life. Able to do weddings, able to have families, and we're the same age. And I'm thinking, okay, it's good that I have a source of income or some sources of income, but those sources of income are not able to sustain me to that life that they're living now. So what am I supposed to do? That's pretty much. I'm smiling because there's no solution other than just waiting and working hard.
Working towards
the goal that which is being there's no shortcut towards it. You don't know what they did to get that money. It's good for them that they're able to be at that point in their life at this specific point. it's, I mean, good. I don't feel bad. As a matter of fact, I'm so happy for them that they are there, and I'm elated that I'm able to share maybe some of these moments with them for those who invite us. But sometimes I just feel like, why not me?
And it's so interesting because it's perception. The other day somebody texted me and was like, I see you and your podcast prospering online. This was when we were on a break, and I was just like, I was like, perception. Hey.
No, but
I think also perception plays a part, because it's like I was saying, you may not know.
Yeah.
It's so easy for things to look, and I'm not saying we're not necessarily prospering, but somebody just puts two and two together and just assumes, they are making
they're
it
doing good.
And I think it's so funny because on my mom's birthday, we did like this quiz as siblings, and then we were asking our parents, who do you think is the sibling that's most likely to? So Amani said, who do you think is the most likely to be successful? And then they all go, Amira. And then Amani goes, yeah, because she just loves money. Then I'm like, she's like, yeah, she just cares about being rich. And I told Amani, to me, that's not even success.
Yeah.
Like, people's definition of success is different, because for somebody, success may be, I'm married and I have children.
Oh, yeah.
That's not my definition. Today, my definition of success is, is my family good? Are they mentally at peace? You know, you can have all the money in the world, but you're not at peace. There's fighting amongst your family, people with drug addiction. Like, there's more to success than money. And I think that, like, for me, you know, I didn't finish school. I dropped out. That's a story for another day. And I remember always thinking, okay, the time is coming close when I feel like graduating. And I didn't know how I was going to feel. And it happened. I remember I just switched off my phone in that period. I didn't go on social media so much, so it wasn't in my face every day. I'm seeing a new gown. I'm just like... But
me.
When it happened, I'm like, guy, it happened and I didn't die. Like, life continued.
Yeah.
The worst has happened, quote unquote. And I remember 2019, I was like, if I don't live this year, the man of my dreams, it didn't happen. I'm still here to tell the story. So one of the things that for me, I think the pandemic also taught me is that success is actually Pauline, please. Success looks different to different people, and everyone is on a different journey. Like, to me, even if, like I keep saying, even the fact that we're doing this podcast, we may not see it now, but you have something that's in your name. You have something that you're working towards. There are people who have millions, but they have a boss. So if that company goes down, they have nothing to show for it. So I think success is different for different people, and I think you have to define. Like, for me, I get questions all the time. When are you finishing school? You know, we are concerned. This is not even from my parents. People who don't even know. We are concerned. When are you finishing school? Are you okay? And I've been working ever since I left school. I've been working till today, and so I have a different kind of viewpoint of how I view these things. I really feel like your life is really what you make it. But it is hard. I think society sometimes, their voice can be so loud. And you know, I was telling someone yesterday actually, people are so big on telling you how to live your life, but they're not the ones who are gonna live it.
Yes.
They'll tell you, do this degree, but they're not the ones who are gonna write that exam. Live here, move out. They're not the ones who are gonna pay those bills. So people are so easy to diagnose and prescribe, and they're not the ones who have to live to tell the story.
Those people who tell you, so when are we coming for your wedding?
You're like,
and I'm like,
first of all, you're not invited. You're not on the list.
like,
provide the husband.
No, but I'm just like, I am children. I'm still a child. Yeah, that's always my answer.
But I also feel like even in uni, there can be a lot of pressure, where sometimes you think somebody has money, but it could be held money. It could be they have a sponsor. It could
they're
be
in a pyramid
they're
scheme.
robbing. It could be so many different things. It's just it's just. I don't want to say it's like blocking out, but you like really do have to block out, because at the end of the day, if you compare what everyone is doing, and if you perceive everything is the way you look at it, I think you'll be very much shocked.
And I think there's even a quote that says, you know, if you say like you want, let's say I want Pauline's life, you can't only want the good parts. You'd get all of it.
Yes.
There's pros and cons to everything. So if you want Bill Gates' life, you get the money, but you also get all the other wahala that comes with it. So there's no perfect life, there's no perfect way, and I think that sometimes these pressures that we are put, marriage, babies, the biological clock is running out, all these things, move out. People don't take into account how those things can affect your mental health, or even how, you can even see somebody for the first time, and the first thing they're asking you something like, so how is school? Like they're asking you questions that it's like, you don't even check up on me first of all. So it's not even your business to ask me, how is my love life doing, or how is my where am I getting a sponsor for the podcast? Can you just ask me how I am? Like seriously, you don't even, let's not even go to that level. So I think sometimes also as a culture we can be so nosy, let me just call it what it is, nosy and entitled to know people's business. It's actually none of your business. It's none of my business unless you tell me how you're doing. And I think we need to be more concerned with how someone is doing. Like in a pandemic, what's more concerning is how is somebody just mentally. Somebody may be going through it. You don't, whether they're married, that's not really your business. If you're trying to be a genuine friend, actually those things can give people anxiety. Like, this person is going to ask me. Like there's some places you even go, you just know, hey, when I go here, let me just be prepared for these questions, because I just know they're gonna, like me, I know there's some places I go and I know, okay, I'm gonna have to answer the school question. Yeah, let me just prepare my answer. But it puts people on edge and just adds pressure that's not necessary, and doesn't make somebody feel safe. And I think, there's so much we could say on this topic, but I think I'll just end it by just saying that live your life the way you want to live it. That might not be the advice your parents are giving you, but hey, if you want to try this at home, don't blame me. Live your life the way you want to live it. Me, I personally live by a motto: if it doesn't serve my mental health, I don't do it. People, social media, friends, I don't care what it is at this point. Like, if it's not helping me mentally, because your mind is all you have. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but when you go to hospital, when you become a vegetable, like for example, broken arm can be healed, broken leg, but when you become brain dead, even if you can still breathe, you'll just be at home doing nothing. People you don't even know anything that's going on, and people underestimate that because it's invisible. But once you lose your mind, that's it. That is it. So even family, let me even take it to even family. Even if family is a hindrance to your mental health, put boundaries, especially if you're an adult. Once you're over 18, even with family, because I know not everyone's relationship with their family is great. You can put boundaries. You don't have to answer that text if that person texting you is toxic. You don't have to. There's certain things you just don't have to do for the sake of your mind. Because once you lose this, I remember somebody told me, once you lose this, that's it. Even if you leave a job because of your mental health, I've done that, left because of my mental health. I thought the world was going to end, it did not. But they always replace you first of all. So it's not like you're irreplaceable. They'll always replace you. So you take care of your mind first and foremost. Because once that goes, there's nothing.
I think just to add on that, especially for people who are going through what I'm going through, as long as you're working hard and
it will happen.
As long as you're working hard and as long as you're faithful that this is what I want to do and this is where I'm going, your stars will align. They will align. Just work, do it. Don't stop because things are not working or because you're not where you wanted to be at that point. Do it. Your stars will align. Sooner or later, actually they will.
Yeah, and I think the picture that most describes this, and we've seen it, I think we've all seen it in memes or, just somewhere, is this picture of like a young person, like a middle-aged person, and like an old person. So when you're young, you have the time, you don't have the money, but you have the energy. When you're in the middle part, you have the money, you don't have the time, but you have the energy. And then when you're old, you don't have the time. No, you actually don't have time.
Your time is running out.
Your time is running out. Like, you don't have the time, you have the money,
but you don't
have the energy. So like, I think if you're constantly trying to chase life, if you're constantly trying to chase, I know money is something that is, you can't, okay, people say that you can't. I like this meme that normally says that I don't like people who say money is not important, because actually money is important in a way.
We wouldn't have this podcast.
Or not even anything. You can't survive anywhere without money. So thinking that money is not important is a lie, truthfully. But you can't spend the rest of your life chasing
It's not
money.
everything.
Yes, you can't chase money all the time, because even when you find it, probably you won't even have the time to use it.
Yeah.
Because I think there's
like when you're a billionaire, there's so many of billionaires, like Melinda Gates. She gives more than half away, because it's like, what can you even do with all this? Like you're just one person.
Like there's this particular case where I know, like, this person fought for money so hard and they eventually got it, but like a month later they were dead.
Oh, shit.
So yeah, you can chase money all you want, but don't let it be like the defining factor of your life the entire time, and don't let it affect you so much that you want to commit suicide, or you don't want to be nice to people about it, or just don't let money be the motivating factor.
And it's real. These are real feelings that money can make you feel. But I also want to say it's an illusion, because there are even instances which we're going to touch on now, where you even get it and it doesn't feel the way you even thought it was going to feel. You're thinking, the day this happens, then it happens, and you're like, okay.
It didn't feel so majestic.
So the whole concept of, can money buy happiness? And I think that yes, money is important, but it is not everything. And there are things that money can't buy. Your health, your family, the fact that you live in a country that is not shooting, like you've been seeing what's happening, like Palestine and Israel. Like, there's some things that money can't buy, and if you let it cloud your vision too much, you become money hungry and you don't enjoy life. And the time will come when you will Omoka. It's gonna come, but you don't want to look back and feel like, when I was here, I didn't enjoy it. So every time you're just looking at the next thing. When I'm married, you just got married, but I don't have kids. When I have the first kid, I don't have the second one. It's always something. It's always something. And I think also you have the permission to pace yourself. Actually, I listened to something the other day that said time is actually your friend. We all act like time is against us, that our clock is ticking. And I realized, this is the time for me where I'm privileged to make mistakes, where no one will experience repercussions. There's no child who will experience. There's no husband. 30s can be for that business. But right now, I have the liberty to learn myself, and that's a privilege. So also look for the roses in life, because there will always be something. There will always be something. There will always be something. So if money is what rules you, it won't help you mentally. But this concept of, can money buy happiness? What do you guys think about that? I think in a way it actually can. In some instances, I remember when I was in Coast this December, and I went with a shilling and a dream. I went broke. By the way, it's so funny, because somebody asked me in London, my friend in London was like, hey, you went to Mombasa, were you in Miami? She didn't even know I was Mombasa. She's like, were you in Miami for Christmas? You guys were living the life. Hey, I can see you go like that. I'm like, hey. I get on the train, my phone dies for the whole trip. I'm borrowing phones. So even when I'm on Instagram, it's from other people's phones. Secondly, I have no money in my actual phone, on M-Pesa. So now, because my phone is there, I had a small phone, but I had no money at that point. I had to get it from my savings. So the other day we were on a yacht, and we had gone for a yacht. It was really, really fun. And then on the yacht, I just see my mom sent me money. And man, I'm in my mood. I was like, now you can really enjoy. I was like, wow, because I the money that I had that I could use to spend and enjoy the holiday was good, but I was like, I need more. My mom sent me, and she sent me more than even what I thought she was gonna send me. So that definitely lifted my spirits in that time. So I'm not gonna lie, money does help. Money does help.
It does.
And it does buy happiness.
And I think for me, even in the sense of when you have money and you can even help someone, that the feeling of joy that it gives. So I think money does help when you can put it to good use. If it's not useful, but when you're able to meet somebody's need, when a need is being met, hey, my happiness goes from here to here. Yes, it does. It has before.
So on the flip side, I want to talk about a situation where I got money, and instead I have so many instances, but let me talk about one in general. When I was in school before I cleared, I definitely did have money, so I was depending on my folks to give me allowance, to provide for me fare, to buy for me lunch, and it was, hi, please buy for me, hi, please buy for me, or hi, please send me money for this. Even in high school, when you'd call, and my dad always makes this joke that every time he'd receive a call from a strange number, because now in school we were not allowed to have phones, and he had my voice, he was like, how much do you need?
He just knew.
He just knew it's because of I wanted money. So I was looking forward to the day that I'll make money and call it mine. Not at I've saved, but money that I've actually gone, I've worked for it and I've gotten it and I called it mine. And before I finished, I started my internship before I even graduated. So I finally started getting money that I can call mine. And immediately after that, the pressure to not ask for money was so, I don't know how to explain, but if I misused my money somewhere in the mid-month and it got to the end of the month and I don't have money, getting myself to just call and humbly ask for money was a struggle. And I was like, so why was I excited to do this? Why was I excited to have money? And even just after that, now the pressure of
more money, more problems.
Now I was now thinking about now I can't stay without a job because I'm already used to being independent. I'm not asking for money anymore, so I can't survive without a job. So those are the things that are running in my mind. And sometimes I would beat myself, and I was like, I kept cussing adulting. I was like, what's adulting? What is this now? What? And I was so excited to get the money. And there was a time I was here, and I was just saying, adulting is a scam. And I remember I was busy working. Then my dad looked at me and was like, what did you say? Adulting is a scam. And that's because I was working so that I can make money, so that I don't have to ask. And she was like, so what happens when you get children who expect you to pay their fees, and who come home expecting to eat at night, and who will ask you for money when they're somewhere in the bundles and you're the only savior? Do you still think at that point in your life, at the point where you're in your life, it's still a scam?
Yes.
And at that point, I just wanted.
You were like, I don't even want these kids.
At that point,
that statement in itself is birth control. I'd be like, yeah, I'm good. I don't want them.
I was like, gosh, because you see, it was so easy. Before that, it was so easy for me because I didn't have money. My parents didn't expect me to have money. So when I asking for money, they'd just be like, oh, okay, so you need it for what and what? Okay, so I'm sending it to your M-Pesa right now. Now when I ask for money, as much as they won't ask that, in my mind I'm so sure they're asking themselves where I took the money. Because you see now, because I've been paid, they know I'm working, they even know the amount of money I'm being paid. They're like, you live in this house, so you're not paying rent. You're not buying food for the house. So the money that you're getting is supposed to be just for fare and for you to buy those two things that you don't want us to buy for you. Now you're asking us for money. Excuse you.
The audacity.
So I think that's the situation I can think about now. But there's so many others where you get money and immediately you're so happy, but when you think about the things that you need to sort, like I know that I got this, I don't know if you guys remember the editing job I got, and then before I was even paid, that money had already gone, because I knew I needed to sort this, I was remaining with like 300 shillings.
Yep, adulting, yeah. With great money comes great responsibility. Not just like you have disposable income, you got bills, so for those who stay home and you are earning, I hope you also give your parents or help them out in some capacity, even if it's just buying them, like, I don't know what it is, but just show some appreciation, like what Pauline is saying. I do when I'm budgeting. and it's a must. Like money goes to my parents. Of anything I make, it's just a must. It's a habit that I want to keep, just because it's true, they're housing me. They don't have to. And yeah, but adulting is.
Just to add on that, I don't think it has to be okay. If you want to be that elaborate about it, like 10%, it has to go to them. But you can. It doesn't have to be like that. But sometimes you start with some shopping.
But even sometimes,
I'm not even saying you have to do it like that. But I'm just saying,
just
have them in your consideration, because now that you know that it's true. You know how my parents always say money doesn't grow on trees. Now that I really know it doesn't. Show them some appreciation.
But also when they're given, I think we should also appreciate, because we're not at that stage where we can be able to give them a house or give them like big things. But like the little, sometimes you've really strained to actually get that
and
money. They don't appreciate. So whether that can actually even make you have a problem, because you
feel like you're never enough.
Yeah,
there's
even if you give
do.
and give, it will never be enough. I think also them appreciating the small things.
Amira, can you stop using violence?
Imagine.
I thought you were keeping it real, but it's true. Those are things. We have to talk about both scenarios. Those things do happen sometimes, and I think that how I would wish I could even tell my parents, you know what, here's a private jet, go here. I've bought you this, but I'm not yet there. We're not yet there. But I think most kids that are not all of us are just trying to be a nuisance and wreak havoc. And so even if it's that small token, it's really from the bottom of our heart.
Yeah.
So please appreciate it.
Yeah, even if it's not every other day that I'm bringing, at least I brought the one time I remembered.
And kids also appreciate your parents because they do a lot for you. So it goes both ways. But I think, you know, we're all broke. I think that's been pretty clear throughout the podcast. We are all broke. If you want to send us some M-Pesa, feel free. And that can take a toll on your mental health. And I think especially when you're a dream chaser, or when you feel like this is not where I see my life being, it can mess with your head. And sometimes you even see people like Pauline said, maybe who are ahead of you. And sometimes you do feel like, maybe I'm working harder, or I have more integrity. I'm not doing X, Y, and Z to get to the top. It's slow for me. Why does it feel like the bad guys always win? Like, I know I'm in the entertainment industry, and sometimes it just feels like it's the place where integrity doesn't get you far.
Anywhere,
So you can feel discouraged and down, and then add on the pandemic. Every other time, so and so funeral, so and so this, need to help here, help out there, or everywhere. So how are you managing in this state? Even though we want to get to better days, how do you keep your mental health afloat? Like, what's one thing that you do to just balance? Because the brokenness is not going anywhere right now. So how do you still make sure your energy, your spirits are not dampened so much by the whole by your financial state?
Yeah, avoid, honestly. I just avoid. Like, I'm not.
You don't think about it?
I don't think about it. I'm not a confrontation person. I just avoid. So anything that does not make you happy, well, it's not good to avoid, but if it's the best you can do, avoid.
I feel like it has its pros and cons in that you're not fazed by whatever else is going on, but then sometimes there can be an issue in front of you that you need to deal with, and then you're not dealing with it, and so it's growing as you need.
Avoid.
Whatever, man. I block. Just that. Things on social media, people and their lives. I block. I say it's good that they're there. I'm happy for you that you're at that point in your life, and I'm not. So I will keep working, and I'll just block. I'll see it. I'll be happy for you, but I'll block it. But then the other thing is, I try as much as possible to also keep myself running, not to dampen myself. Just to tell myself that it's okay. But if I cry, how am I helping myself grow? It's okay that you're feeling bad, but what are you doing about it? So I try as much as possible to try and get new things to do. Keep myself busy, even if I'm not like there are no things to do like that will bring me money, but just something else that maybe grow my skill or something like that.
So as Pauline said earlier, I choose violence in this sense. I feel like I faced the lion. I feel like for me, I almost can't see clearly if I don't just either vent it out, like scream it out. So I always try to allow myself to feel. I'm a natural overthinker, so if things stay in my head, it's worse than if I just blurt it out. So one of the things I do is I talk, I speak. I also just believe in terms of brokenness. You know that quote that says if you're the smartest person in your circle, change circles. So even if I'm broke, let me talk to people who are rich maybe in the way that I want to be. Let me learn from them. If I'm not okay mentally, let me talk to somebody who's in a better place to help me. So I also try to learn from people who I feel like are ahead of me. That's one of the things that just helps me. And I think also remembering what are the things that I already have now that money can't buy. So like making memories. There's some memories that I won't be able to make later on for whatever reason. So also prioritizing things that money can't buy, making memories, spending time with my family, getting to learn myself, and just sometimes you literally have to write it down. Like I am grateful for, literally writing it down, because it's not, you have to like train your mind to see the positive, because our world is so easy to just think negatively and to see the bad things that are happening in your life. And obviously this topic is something that is probably, even in season 2, we'll talk about even more. But for now, that's where we wish to stop it. We probably continue the conversation on our socials, so follow us at the Tume Ota podcast. But I just wanted to say, even like what Pauline said about blocking, and like even on your social media, you can curate it to see stuff that is uplifting. You don't have to, if this person that you're following is making you feel a certain way, follow like an uplifting page instead. And there are actually like a few Instagrams, we'll put them in the video, but just a few Instagrams that I wanted to share that I found that helped me. So there's one that's called Therapy for Black Girls, but just it gives like practical tips, especially for Black women, because some of our problems are very like specific. Then there's a safe place inside. There's one called A Safe Place Inside Your Head that talks about just the thoughts that we go through. We the Urban. There's also mental health quotes, and I feel like I follow a lot of these pages because it's like I'd rather see that than see maybe my peer who is doing God knows what, and then I just feel bad. Like, so also you can control your feed. Mute that person if you have to, block them with no apologies. You know, it's your life and you have to do what works for your mental health. And so my challenge today is really simple. It's just prioritize your mental health. Because from there, everything else flows. Like I said, if you don't have your mind, you have nothing else. So, and no one else can you're the one who lives inside your head. Nobody else. That's where you live for the rest of your life. So if you don't take care of it, like, who's gonna help you? And just to read a quote, it says, talking about mental health is not attention seeking. Doesn't mean you're feeling sorry for yourself. People die in silence every day due to this judgment, and then people finally say, I wish they spoke up. We live in a society that stigmatizes mental health but mourns suicide. And then another one, if seeing a doctor for a physical illness is not a weakness, then seeing a therapist for a mental illness is not a weakness. You're not weak for getting help when your body is in pain. Yeah. And then the last one, I absolutely hate the idea of, well, someone else has it worse. You know, somebody says, people have it harder than you. Like, no, your pain and your trauma are completely valid despite what someone else went through. And another one I'll add, which is my own quote. When someone is going through something, and I found this specifically in like the Christian space, don't just tell somebody, oh, just pray about it, you'll be okay. Would you tell somebody if you see their arm falling off, just pray about it, it will heal itself? You tell them, go get a bandage, go to the hospital. So don't invalidate people's pain and just pray about it. Or like validate someone's trauma. Be safe. Sometimes just listen. Don't even say anything. Just listen. So be safe for somebody else, and also remove people who are not safe for you, and prioritize your mental health so that you can be the best version of you. So we wish to end it there.
It wasn't too long.
Even if it was long, it was necessary. This one was necessary because it's not a conversation you can brush over. A lot of people like to brush over it. It's uncomfortable, but it's necessary. Have the conversations in your home with your friends. Be real. There's no shame. There's absolutely no shame. I hope you've enjoyed. And feel free to DM us if you feel like you have no one to talk to. We are more than willing to just be a listening ear. We may not have the answers. If you have any resources that you want to share, because I know in Kenya it's very hard to find resources. If you have any resources that we can share to people who are looking for help, please share with us. But I hope this episode has helped you guys. I feel like I'm feeling a bit lighter. And please take care of yourselves. Happy 1st of July. and see you in the last episode of season 1. So tumeswata lakini
Tunaomoka.
bye.